Hey there, and welcome to The Lab, the series where we tap into the minds and strategies of top-performing EXP agents to uncover what's really working out there today. What you're about to see isn't just a great conversation, it's a sneak peek of what's inside EXP University training. All of our major training programs like Fast Cap, the Lead Generation Series, Fast Attract, and more are built by conducting dozens and dozens of these interviews. Think cutting-edge tactics, proven systems, and agent-tested strategies compiled from multiple agents on a given topic, all building into insights shared in our training and right here. Consider this your front row seat, and let's dive in.
Thanks for doing this, by the way. We really appreciate it. For folks not necessarily familiar with you yet, would you mind sharing a little bit about your background? How'd you get to become one of the top EXP agents and number one agent there in Ohio for us?
Well, I was in the business. I've been in business for 21 years. I've been with RE/MAX for a little over 16 years, going on 17 when I came to EXP. I was number one RE/MAX agent in the state of Ohio for about 10 years. And then I came to EXP and I continue my success story with EXP. And my business has been growing since I came to EXP. And, many agents are thinking they cannot leave current brand because it's the brand that helps them grow the business. And I believe you, the brand, every agent is unique, special, and different. And people do business with us because of our uniqueness. And having amazing platform like EXP just helps us to elevate business to the next level.
That's right. And you and I found out we have your very good friend, my cousin-in-law, I guess. Small world. You and I were chatting at EXPCon, and turns out we have family and friends in common, which is what an interesting world. I never asked you though. Your accent, is that from Cleveland, Ohio, or is that from Cincinnati?
No, so I was born and raised in Czechoslovakia. I came to United States a long time ago on the running scholarship. I was Division I runner. And the rest is history. Here I am in Cincinnati, Ohio. I have 5 amazing kids. I have 1 girl, 4 boys. 2 of my boys are Division I athletes. I have a track and field superstar and a soccer player. And 2 younger boys are still in high school. So, here we are in Ohio, Cincinnati. We've been living here for 22 years. And I got my license as soon as we moved in, and loving selling Cincinnati.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had 5. And, Ginny has several. We have 4. Together, we should create a football team or something.
I have 1 girl and 4 boys, and so it has been a gift and blessing.
That's awesome. Congratulations. So just to give sense, because we're going to talk about your lead generation, and I think people have this kind of thought process around referrals in particular, that's going to be a small business. You are not a small business. Do you want to give folks a sense of how big your business is?
So I'm an individual agent, and I do about 100 transactions a year, and 90% of these transactions are coming from my sphere, and it's repeat clients and it's referrals. When I started in business 21 years ago, we did not have platforms. We didn't have KV-Core. We didn't even have GPS. You had to manually print MapQuest and go, to show houses. So we built business on taking care of people, and then in return, people took care of us. So bread and butter of my business is referral, and it's such a blessing because when you have a referral-based business, you do not compete.
Yeah. Now, for a lot of agents, they follow the pathway of doing a significant amount of transactions, and then the referral business comes when the past clients start to repeat and things like that. Was that the case for you, or were you purposeful about creating referrals early in your career?
Well, I tell agents, you cannot be secret agents. So when I first started in the business, everybody who came within breathing distance of Monika DeRoussel knew I was agent. And you always ask people where you live, which neighborhood they're living, how long they've been there, just, general discussion. And then you have to know your marketplace. You have to know that this neighborhood averages 250 to 500. So just, coming across as knowing your market, having data to educate consumer became a key point to my success. My business truly doubled in 2008 and 2009 when everybody was going down the hill, because I would go on the listing appointments with the ideal proposal: we're here to serve you, we're here to take care of you, and the market wasn't good, so we provided you with the option. If you couldn't sell, would you be able to rent your house? Would you be able to explore other options instead of just selling and losing 40, 50,000? And I always believe we are professionals. Consumers hire us to provide the most accurate market data, and sometimes it's not flashy or sexy. You go on listing appointment and you know the value of the home is 500, even though the seller is wishful for 6, right? And I got a lot of referrals from the people. I would go and they said, hey, I want to sell my house at 600, and I would say, I understand, but the market data is at 5, right? And people would refer me to their friends, cousins, and family, saying, if you want somebody to tell you the truth, you need to call Monika. I had a listing appointment 2 weeks ago, and lady redid the house, full remodel, full gut job. She took the house to the studs and rebuilt it. And she's hoping, the average house in her neighborhood is 400 to 500, and she wants 700 plus. And I said, I understand, because you put a lot of money in your house, but your neighbors are not screaming 700,000 neighborhood. And she said, you're the only realtor who told me the truth. And it's obvious, it's stating the facts. Like, when people buy real estate, they buying lifestyle, they buying not just the home, they buying the neighborhood, they buying golf courses, pools, walking trails, settings. So just understanding, we're not just selling home, we're selling the lifestyle for these buyers.
Yeah, and particularly in this market, in this economy, pricing is something where you have to be artful, but honest with them about that, or else you're setting them and you up for failure in the long run. And yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out the right scripting, the right way of making sure they understand what the reality of it is. You don't have to be a jerk about it, but you do need to be a professional about it.
I'm laughing because, a lot of people, when they meet clients and discuss real estate, we have so much negativity in this world. Like, you turn news on and there's nothing positive about real estate. Mortgage rates are at historically highest level, inventory is low, we have tariffs, you can't buy a new house without committing to exact price point because we don't know what the lumber is going to cost you 8 months from now. And I think it's our job as real estate agents to educate consumers to make the best decision and be confident with their decision. Yeah, mortgage rates are at 7%. I'm from Europe. Good luck. 7% in Europe, it's like the best thing you can get. Like, it's all perception, and it's how you present the package to the consumers. People need to move if they have death, divorce, relocation, and if you're forced to move because of life circumstances, you don't dwell on 7% rate. You're still moving. So we need to present consumers with the options that excites them to actually go through real estate transaction from start to finish, instead of reinforcing what everybody's watching on the news. We have high mortgage rate, lack of inventory. There is so many opportunities in the marketplace, and it's our job as real estate agents to stay on top of the game and educate consumers so they can feel comfortable and confident making the biggest decision of their life.
Yeah, well said. I want to talk a little bit about referrals. And in my experience, and in just talking with a lot of top agents and top team leaders like yourself, I find referrals are really a matter of just a few things, right? The first is providing an amazing experience. The second is staying in consistent communication and providing value. And the third is asking for it. From your experience, and you certainly have a lot more experience than I ever did with referrals, do you find that to be true? Did we miss something there in that equation?
I could not agree more with you. Absolutely. It's the first and foremost is the experience. People might not remember the exact price point you sold their home for, but they always remember the way you treated them from start to finish. People always remember how you treat them. Always asking. I always ask, who else do you know that could benefit from the services we provide? Is there anybody in your life that we can help to move, upgrade, downsize? Who else do you know? But the experience is the most important thing, and constantly staying in front of your clients, whatever tools or resources you use. A lot of clients do feel real estate agents come, they conduct real estate transactions, they collect their paycheck, and they disappear. And I'm a true believer that my clients become my family. We nurture these relationships for years. We go to funerals, weddings, graduations parties, you name it. We become part of the life. When mom or dad goes to nursing home, we become part of the discussions on the sale of home, Medicare, whatever. Like, we become family. And I think because of that, our business is running on autopilot and referrals, because when mom is going to nursing home, they can't think of anybody else but Monika DeRoussel as the one and only realtor. And we have 10,000 agents in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Can I ask you, so let's kind of take those three areas and kind of dive in about how you do it in your business. So let's talk about the experience. And there's probably wow moments, and there's probably also just little nuances about how you do the mundane things, but maybe just a little bit different. When you think about the experience you create for either a buyer or seller, what stands out for you?
For me, the most important thing is constant communication with the consumer, right? We know what we're doing, and it's setting also right expectations. When we working with the buyers or sellers, my favorite statement is sit back and enjoy the ride. We're going to take you to your final destination. And it's like, when you go to anesthesia, I wish we can put the clients under anesthesia and let them wake up with a successful outcome, right? Because we truly know what we're doing. We do it every day, day in and day out. So we take clients, sit back, enjoy the ride. We're going to take you where we're going together, but we constantly update them and communicate them, because so many times there is such a calm before storm, like you're waiting on appraisal, you're waiting on the outside of inspection. So we have inspection, we will call buyer or seller, say, hey, inspection was today. It's going to take us 24 to 48 hours to receive the official report. As soon as we receive, we're going to review it. Depending on the outcome, we're going to submit paperwork as needed. But it's constantly staying on top of the game. I talk to my buyers and sellers at least once or twice a week. Even if there's nothing to update, hey, John, I'm just checking how you're doing. I know it's calm. There's no update this week, so just keep packing, keep moving stuff, keep donating to Vincent de Paul or Goodwill, because next week when we get closer to the table, we're going to be busy. We're going to be transferring utilities. We're going to be wiring money on the from current home to the new home. So it's constantly telling people what's next, so they're not sitting anxious, what's next, what's coming. So we just communicate with people for 30, 45 days, once or twice a week. And always, if there's question, concern, we always here for you. And I believe you answer your calls. So many agents don't ever pick up a call. So you communicate with your clients, you ensure there's experience that you would want to be if you were on the other side. I ask a lot of my agents, if you were a consumer, would you hire you? And that's how I think about the way we treat clients. If I was a consumer, would I hire Monika? And if I wouldn't, what would I want Monika to do better so she can get hired, right? Constant communication. We always ask, do you need movers? Do you need painters? Do you need landscaping people? What else can we do to help you make this process as easy and as uneventful as possible? Because there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of moving parts. You have kids, you have dogs, you have, you name it. And we part of that process. So we always reach out. What else is there that we can help you make this process as smooth as possible? Constant communication, not just with the client, but also with the lender. So, if there's a problem with the loan, you're the first one to know instead of having surprises. So I think for me, that's crucial. Once we close the transaction, people are moving. We always check the moving day. How is the moving? Is everything going the way you anticipated? When we close on the new house, we call them 30 days later. Is the new house what you hope for? How are the neighbors? Is there anything else we can do for you? by the way, thank you, for blessing us with your business. Who else do you know we can help with the same experience you just encountered? Could you please give us good Google review? And then we follow up again 6 months later. Hey, how is everything? Still, are we still doing as amazingly well as we did day 1, day 2, week 1, week 2? So we have a checklist. So we move you, we check, during the move, we check again. So we check with these clients even after we move, so they don't feel like we just abandoned them. Hey, do you need security system? Is there anything else you possibly can think that we can connect you with our referral partners? What is it that we can do for you? Even though we already finished transaction, we are always here for you.
Masters of whatever craft always have the foundations, the basic principles that they just really, really focus on. And that's exactly what you're describing, right? You didn't just say, I hire a Ferrari to move them from, right? You're just doing the basics really, really well.
Yeah.
What strikes me, 1 second, I have my family here, and I'm going to let them know that I'm recording, so that I don't know if you're able to hear the background noise. But so what strikes me is that somebody who's been doing it as long as you have, at the volume that you have, you're a master of your craft. You could probably walk through a transaction in your sleep and know the points inherently, but also you do work at a volume. And if you were to just trust your memory and just trust, oh yeah, it's day 21, I need to do this, you'd probably trip up. And so I love hearing that you have a checklist. Do you, in that checklist, are there any wow moments, or is it just really focusing on the fundamentals and the communication?
Just we cover the basic things. Less is better. We tell people less is better. It's like a plane ride, right? You don't go on the plane and question pilot, what are we going to do between now and landing? You just trust the pilot. We're going to get you where we're going. And will we have turbulence once in a blue moon? Unfortunately, it's just human nature, but we ensure you we're going to get you where we're going. So we have a basic checklist. We keep it very simple. I feel it's my job to give people ease. If there's a hiccup along the way, my slogan is we will make it happen. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. We've done this before. It's not the first or last rodeo. We're going to take you where we need to go. And, hiccups happens, but you got us to take care of you. And, we solve the problems and get you to the happy ending. We also, after the transaction, we have a process in place. We use send out cards. And we use them for anniversary, for birthdays, for graduations, for babies. We send flowers, but back to basic. There's no complicated process. We building this business on human relationships, taking care of people, and it's not just real estate. It's birthdays, it's death, it's weddings, it's engagements, it's retirements. We become family. We constantly stay in touch with people. And I think that's the 99% of most successful agents in the business. That's what they do.
Yeah, well said. I'm curious about the referral side of things. So you said at the 30-day mark, and then some time I didn't quite catch afterwards, you're reaching back out and you're saying, hey, how's it going and all that, and you're asking for the referral at that point. Is that the first time you're asking for the referral? Is that 30-day mark?
Oh, no, we're asking for referrals for 30 days because you're talking to your clients once or twice a week. We say, hey, anything else we can do for you? Oh, by the way, if there's anybody that is considering buying and selling, the demand for houses is so high right now. We don't have enough inventory. Who else do you know that we can bless selling their home?
Love it. And so every week, as you're doing your reach out in that contract close period, you're doing it, and then you're doing it post-transaction as well. I want to ask you about your client communication, even beyond that 30-day mark. If I was a past client of yours, how often would I hear from you, get an email from you, get a text message from you, or get some communication from you as a past client?
I love my clients and I talk to them all the time. My goal as a realtor is to touch base with at least 3 clients every day. So we go, I have an annual list of clients. You bought house with me in 2020, 2021, 2022. And I go in the order where I dial people and just checking in. Hey, how are kids? I saw on Facebook that your daughter's graduating from University of Cincinnati. What's next for her? So it's not like, hey, it's time, let's move. You've been there for 5 years, let's go. We just check in. Hey, how are kids? And the social media blessing, what's happening in everybody's life. So it gives you a lot of excuses to pick up a phone and call your people. So I talk to minimum 3 to 5 clients every day. I was in some training and somebody asked how many live conversations you have every day. And I love my clients. I talk to my clients at least every 6 months. Now, there are clients I would talk to every 3 months. I have clients I talk to almost weekly. They become family, best friends. But we try to be in front of every client at least once every 6 months. We have must do every year. So during the annual tax season, April, if you purchase home with us, we always send you your closing document for your accountant to file taxes. So if you bought a house in 2024, you did receive a tax closing document from us in January 2025. Then we always send something for birthdays and for a house anniversary. So even if I don't talk to you, you will get piece of mail from me. Tax season, if you purchased home in last year, your birthday, your wife's birthday, and then happy anniversary to your house anniversary. And then we try to keep our clients informed because everybody wants to know what's the value of my home. So I purposely mail all my clients annual statement. Hey, John, just so you know, here's the value of your home today. It's $575,000. If you or anybody else that you know needs anything related to real estate, let me know. And then it's very simple.
You do that once a year. Do you do it like at a certain time of year? I'm going to do everybody, or do you do like so many per week or something like that?
So there is no structure to the mailers, so to speak. I use my time when we slow down to do the mailers. So like yesterday, last night, I sent 95 letters out with people's values, right? So wow. I will sit in the office and go, let's mail as many as I can, because I truly do it manually. I know it's not what people want to hear, but I literally take the card, look up everybody's value. Your house today on June 1st is at this value. And then like I will add personal note. Hope your lucky puppy is doing well, because people have dogs, people have kids. So I do automation mailers quite a bit, but all my clients will get update on the value of their home with my personal note. And you might get yours in March, and John might get it in September, but you will get it. I just don't know when. So, we have about 1,500 clients in database. I've been doing this for about 21 years. My first couple years, I didn't do 100 transactions a year, but we have about 1,500 people in database. So I might hit 100 people 1 week, and then I might not do anybody for 3 weeks. So it's not like every Monday I send 100 letters out. Some days are busier than others, but if I have a window of opportunity to do mailer, it's going out.
Are you using like your MLS, or are you using like Fellow or something like that? How are you doing that many CMAs? That's an amazing amount of work.
Yeah, and it's like, why are we afraid of work? You know what I mean? Anything you do, why work? Like if you're a heart surgeon, you're standing on your feet for 8 hours cutting people's hearts. Like and I get excited, so I do it manually. I know there's a faster, more automated system to do it, but I love to know what's the value of John's house, because just in case John calls me tomorrow, I'll be like, hey, John, it's funny you called. I just sent you updated value of your home. I know we bought it for $375, but yesterday value was $545. How you feel about the value today, right? So I like to keep it in my mind. Okay, we bought somebody's house. So when I go manually, I use MLS. I look at John's house. We bought it in 2017, at this value, and this is value today. I get excited. And sometimes I will just text John, say, hey, John, I just sent you updated value of your home. Can't wait to hear what you think, right? It's just multiple ways of giving you legit reason to connect with your people, instead of like, hey, John, it's time, let's move. Like, it's like we need to provide some value to these consumers.
I like that. When you talk to a lot of referral-based agents, they'll use the kind of touch, systems of getting into communication one-to-one, but then they also use one-to-many systems like client parties, renting out movie theaters, ice cream socials. Do you do anything like that with your
Oh
customers?
yeah, I love parties. Parties is the heart of my business.
It makes sense why you and Jenny are friends then.
Yeah, when my kids were little, they would go to school and the teacher would say, "What does your mom do for work?" And they go, "Oh, she parties." Because my kids thought I partied, because we do a lot of client appreciation parties. And I feel like I love seeing my clients back. And we don't see you after we conduct transaction. I might not see you for 5 to 7 years. So it gives me good excuse to invite my clients. And we tailor client appreciation parties. So I work with a lot of families because I have 5 kids and I work with a lot of large families. So we have done a lot of Christmas parties, pictures with Santa in December, and we have done a lot of pool parties. We rent a pool with the lifeguards, so everybody's safe and sound. We have a pizza and drinks and snacks, and each party is tailored to different demographics. We do steakhouse where we invite business professionals, people who don't have kids or who are empty nesters. They have kids, but kids are married and gone. And then we have parties for families, so you can bring 4 kids between the age of 2 and 8. So we do multiple client appreciation parties, and each party is tailored to different group of clients. But we do client appreciation party once a quarter. So we do one in March, one in June. June is usually pool party, then one in fall, and then one around holidays. So we do about 4 client appreciation parties a year. We invite people and have just good time. It's just seeing everybody back. It's just the highlight of my real estate life.
I want to ask you about those parties in some details if anybody else wanted to kind of replicate what you're doing. First, which one of those do you feel like is the most has the most return for your business?
I don't look at it which one has the highest return. It's the goal is to be in front of your clients so they don't forget you, right? I don't do it like, okay, if I spend $5,000, how much more do I get out of it? I look at it, these people bless me, let me bless them back. And I love to see them. A lot of my clients are really close, friends over the years. So we host parties, and I would say on average, every client appreciation party, we will end up with 3 to 5 referrals. You're in front of people, they go, "Yeah, I forgot my coworker is moving. Let me give you her card." So we get a lot of referrals, but we don't host it saying, "Hey, if you have referral, come over. If you don't." It's just having good time with families. It's all about being together with people who bless us. And we do have a lot of referrals out of these parties. But I don't do it with what do I get out of it. Like that, that's not how we go into the parties.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It absolutely does. And so in this case, the return isn't a monetary amount. It's a number of people that you get in front of. So let me ask you, which one is the one that really draws people in the most?
When I do something, I try to do my best. And so the way I think about my client appreciation parties, what would somebody love? For example, we will host a client appreciation party in one of the best steakhouses in Cincinnati, Jeff Ruby. And I go, why would I do it? Well, some of these people will never eat there if I don't book private room and let them pick whatever's on menu, right? Because a lot of people are on budget, very cautious. We have a lot of young first-time home buyers buying homes, barely making, monthly mortgage, building their equity. So I go, what would these people love? And that's how I structure my client appreciation parties. What would these people love? Like if you have a family of 5 to 10 children, you are very unlikely belonging to some swimming club community because it's like a lot of people. It's crazy. So I said, what would these children love during summer when it's 90 degrees in Cincinnati? I bet they would love to be at the pool. So let's host the pool party. What would some first-time home buyers that don't have kids, what would they love to do? And they would love to enjoy a nice place for dinner with a good steakhouse, glass of wine, or whatever that is. So that's how we go about, which part, how we structure party. We have a professional teams in Cincinnati. We have Bengals, we have Reds, we have FC Cincinnati. So we rented private suite in the fall for soccer game, right? Because so many of these clients will not be able to go to the professional soccer game in the private suite if I don't host it. So that's how I go. What would my clients love, and what can I do? And I was think about some new ideas, right? So we've changed it over the years. We used to do pictures with Santa, and as my clientele is getting older and kids are growing older, we kind of moved to different environment. Not that people don't like Santa, it's just
They don't have the little kids as much anymore.
Like I was talking to one of my younger agents, and he's like, Monika, you seem to have so much success with the Christmas parties and pictures of Santa. That was a couple of years ago. And I said, what's your typical profile of your clients? And he's like, business of professionals. And I'm like, well, who's going to sit on Santa's lap? Like, if you don't have 2 years old and 4 years old, it's not as exciting.
It'd be a little awkward, yeah.
What would your clients love to do? And that's how I think about my client appreciation parties. If my people are telling me I want to go to Bengals game, let me explore it. If that's what my clients would love to do, let me make it happen.
Can I ask you, because you say that, and I bet a lot of folks watching this would go, wow, that sounds really expensive. Are you paying for this out of pocket? Are you getting others to come in, like title, mortgage, whatever, to help you? Or is this just you giving back to your clients?
It is expensive and it is not. It's investment in your business. Like everything we do is expensive, right? So if you say, okay, if I host client appreciation party and I spend $2,000, will I recover it, right? And if the answer is no, let's just say you don't get anything out of it, no referrals, nothing. Well, guess what? At least you have tax deduction. So instead of you sending a check to IRS, you taking care of your clients who love you and adore you, and eventually the business will come. So it's not just like, yeah, it's expensive. Now, some of the events we do partner with the title company or lenders, and some we don't, right? So each event is different and unique. But, if you think about it, what's the average commission check in Cincinnati? We say average commission check is $10,000 per property. If you spend $5,000 on your clients, would that change the nature of your business? And, you're not gonna, it's a lot of money, but you're investing it in the business. You have so many ways of investing in your business. You can do mailers, you can do billboards, you can do TV ads. For me, is taking care of people and they take care of me in return. So I don't look at it like, oh, it's expensive. Well, billboard will cost you the same, and it helps to boost your ego. But doesn't bless as many people along the way. So we do it all. And I look at it, you have to spend money to make money. And I'd rather spend my money with my clients having good time and blessing others.
Yeah, that's well said. And it's an investment, not an expense. It's only an expense if you don't pour into it and take advantage of the opportunity. Speaking of that, I've talked to a lot of referral agents who do client parties and events and things like that. And they oftentimes have a limited capacity. Like I'm sure your steakhouse can only seat so many people. Mm-hmm. And yet they're inviting a whole lot more people than will actually show up. And for a lot of them, they view the invitation as almost more impactful than the actual event because you can reach so many more people with the invitation. Is that part of your way of thinking of it as well? Or do you think differently?
Yeah, you'd be surprised because if I do steakhouse, we usually have 30 seats at the table, for private room. And we always send 100 invitations. And I learned over the years that about 1/3 of people will show up. You have kids, you have work commitment, you have travel, you get sick. So we invite 100 people and people go, you're the best. I've never had a realtor who even thought about me coming to Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse. We appreciate you. Oh, by the way, my grandma passed away. We're going to have her house. Can you help us? So you have another reason for conversation. We send invitations. We follow up with a phone call because the phone call gives me opportunity to touch base with my clients. Hey, I'm hosting private party. It's invitation only. We have very limited number of chairs at the table. I would love to have you and your husband. Is this the date you guys can make it? And if they can't, they feel so honored just the fact we thought of inviting them, like you said. So if I have 30 chairs at the table, we usually send 100 invitations, sometimes even 150 to get 30 people to the room.
Okay, love it. So we talked about the two of the three, and I said, things like this are an expense, not an investment, if you don't make the ask. And you shared a little bit earlier about how you ask. What's your? Do you have like a go-to way of asking for referrals, or do you have a couple of different scripts that you use?
I don't. Every client is different and unique. Like clients who are really close to me, I'm like, hey guys, who do we know that needs house to sell? Because, if you know nobody, my son is going in the yard, I'm running out of listings. So, you can have fun with it, right? So I tell my best friends, like, I am selling everything. I'm out of listing. Who else do we know? And if you don't know anybody, guess what? My son will be in your yard because I need to pick up some momentum here. So everybody's different. But I think people know we take care of them. So now it's more the incoming calls than outcoming us asking for business. It's people, you almost create momentum when people feel honored to have you help their friends, their relatives, their coworkers. I have business owners running companies of, hundreds plus people. And they would call me, hey, Monika, I just hired, kid out of college. Would you please help him buy $170,000 home? Like I would have hiring managers calling me saying, hey, I have this kid we just hired. Can you please help them get into the home in Cincinnati? So it's almost like they feel honored to introduce me to their friends, family, coworkers, because they know they're going to have amazing, epic experience. And it's just amazing reflection on them as well. So we can now we at this stage, we're getting more inbound calls. I had a listing appointment yesterday. A lady called me. She said, I know I have to hire you. And I said, how come? And she said, well, I talked to 5 neighbors and they told me if I don't hire you, I'm going to lose. So I said, who are your 5 neighbors? And we moved these 5 neighbors and they walking around neighborhood bragging about me. So, and they told her if she doesn't hire me, regrets only. So it's such a gift and blessing to be in that space where people call you and they almost say, please help me to move, instead of me saying, can you please send me your friends and family? Because I truly believe we will take care of them like nobody else.
What's interesting about that too is going back to the expense of some of the things you do. I was talking to another one of our top agents out in Hawaii, and she is also a referral agent. And she, like you, creates an amazing experience, not just during the sale, but then afterward, takes really good care of her client through events and parties and things like that. And because of that, because of the fact that, and she talked about them like you talk about them, they're my friends. They're my friends. And creating that sort of environment, it's funny, I tell agents all the time, we have the coolest job in the world because we get to go make friends for a living, right? And we get to go hang out with them. And when you do that and you create those experiences and you invest in them through, steakhouses and pool parties and things like that, it just creates that sort of natural, well, of course I'm going to introduce my friend over here to Monika because she's taken such good care of me, not just during the home, but as a friend as well. Why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah, it has been gift and blessing. I tell my kids, I am so blessed and grateful to wake up every day excited, helping people fulfill their American dream. I can't imagine better job in this world than truly holding people's hands with the largest transaction of their life and having good time, having fun with them, loving them, getting them where they want to be. Everybody's dreams and destinations are different, but being part of that process, it's amazing.
So, last thing I'll ask you, parting advice. Let's say I'm either a newer agent or I'm an agent that's never really asked for referrals before. I've got my sphere. I might have a past client or a few, whatever. What do you think the first, second, third steps, what would I do first to go out and start trying to engage to get more referrals in my business?
I think just being friendly, humble, and talk to people. I pick up, like I went to bank 2 weeks ago to cash your check, and I walk out with a listing appointment. The banker goes, oh, you in real estate? I'm like, yeah, where you live? And she's like, well, actually, we're thinking about moving. Can I have your card? Like I wasn't even selling her on the idea, right? So I think so many times we get into our bubble, we real estate people, and we forget to talk to strangers. You never, like, I pick up buyers and sellers standing in Kroger. My kids don't go to a store with me. They go, Mommy's gonna talk to everybody. Nobody talks to deli people. I will have long conversation with deli people while they're cutting my salami. Why not? Like, they humans, you can be nice, whether they're buying or selling, just be nice. And you never know when you come across amazing opportunity. Like, I walk out of stores with the listings or buyers or talking to people in parking lot. I greet greeters in Kroger, Walmarts. I talk to them because, they're standing there for 8 hours. People are just rude. So you might as well be the light in this negative world. Like, you turn news on, there's mortgage, like there's so much negativity. So just be nice because people will remember the way you treat them.
It's funny. Next time we come to Ohio, I'm going to make you sit down with my wife, Marette, and tell her what you just told me, because she is the friendliest, most outgoing, chatty person. She's never met a stranger, and she's in pharmaceutical research. But I'm like, baby, get your license. You would make a
license. Let's go. That's, there's no magic formula. It's just taking care of people and being humble, being friendly, and just positive. It amazes me how many agents are so negative. And I tell them, if I want some negativity in my life, I just turn news on. Like, can you at least be positive?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for watching. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time.